Hey guys, thank you for watching another installment of Breaking Burke, where I show you how I take care of my houseplants and my garden outside in the desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. For those of you that are subscribed, thank you. We do currently have a contest going on, so look at my video labeled, what is it? I don't know, I'll have to think about it and say it towards the end, but look at my other videos. In this episode, we are going to show my monstera albo variegated. This is my second attempt at this plant. I did buy what was supposed to be a viable node that hasn't done anything but put out roots in almost a year. It has started to rot a couple times. I showed that in a previous video as well on why it's tricky to buy propagations or cuttings. But this is just an attempt to try and save it. If you see, the leaf up here is curled back. It did happen in shipping, but it continues to curl more. We're going to pan down the plant here so you can see the bottom. If we get close up here, you can see it's very wrinkled, showing signs of desiccation that it's drying out. One thing that I do definitely know is an issue with this is potting soil. I had switched to a different soil because it was chunkier and it looked more organic, kind of like it already had some wood chips in it, so I figured rather than buying 3 different things and mixing them together, this one looks like it has most of it, and I shouldn't have, because I learned I lost a few plants because of it. And if you notice on here, if you see here at the edge, you can see where the soil has pulled away from the bucket. And I mean, that's bound to happen eventually, but this has only been potted for a couple of months, so it shouldn't happen that quick. And I do see gnats coming out of here, so we obviously know there's a moisture retention issue. That's what happened to my other plants that I had the issue with the soil. The roots were staying too wet, they started to rot, I got fungus gnats, and it became a whole ordeal. I'm going to take off my little holder here. I had this just to keep the leaf upright, cause less damage, nothing fancy. I made my own version of what I bought at a trade. You can see this one's got little charms. My sister bought me a few of them after she seen what I made with the last one. She's like, I'll keep an eye out. I didn't think she'd find anything, and she came back with a few, so I fashioned them into little stakes myself. Now, this did have a pretty nice root system when I bought it. It was stuck in the propagation vessel, so that wasn't fun, and I had to fight for a while to get it out. I'm going to do my best to cause the least amount of damage and mess, but I'm super nervous. Now, that's not a really good sign, because when I potted it, the roots were at the very bottom of the pot, so let's see here. It's gonna be messy. And you can see there's quite a bit of root damage. You can see actually where the roots were shaped like the bottom of a glass vessel. Like I say, I had to pry them out of there, and good thing I did this, because maybe I'll have a fighting chance. Up to here you can see desiccation and death. From there, where it stops breaking, that's where it's got viable roots. So I'm going to want to prune like a 1/4 inch above that to make sure I get off all the dead and dying material. I thought I was going to need a much larger vessel, because like I say, I remember the root system when I put it in. You can see there in the center it is green and alive, so hopefully we got it in time, but I mean, you never know. I did have this because I thought I was going to wash off the roots before putting it in water. I suppose I still could, but yay, done. Now, there's no guarantees, especially with something that I let go so far. I should have checked it sooner. Once I seen my other plants failing, I should have been like, I spent more on that than I did anything in my collection. It is important to me, but I was worried about ruining it and killing it by checking the roots. Sometimes it's not always the best thing to be patient. Sometimes you just got to get in that pot and see what's going on. You can cause some harm to the plant. However, if it's looking like it's declining anyway, you might want to check it. So this I'll probably keep in water. Probably going to change the vessel because that one's huge. But I'll keep it in water for, I'd say, a week or two, depending on how many roots I start to see come out. If I don't see any and it starts to decline again, we could always try moss or a little greenhouse chamber that I have. It's just a plastic tote that I use occasionally as like a little ER when plants aren't happy. Yeah, so like I said, I love the texture, the color of this plant. I've wanted one forever. I don't want this to be my second failure. Obviously we hit a bump in the road and lost 90% of the roots, but I think we may have gotten it early enough to be able to save something. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any advice, if you've gone through this, and if you like the content. Thank you.